Greetings to readers, viewers, and listeners. I'm looking at this next episode in the Autistic Superblog's annual tradition known as Letters for Lent. As for all these videos on the Letters for Lent this year, this this year's edition will be dedicated to the memory of the late great Joe Defino Sr, a wonderful mentor and teacher. I know I preface this a lot, but I wanted to make sure that it's out there. One of the things that parents do, one of the things that teachers have to do, and one of the things we have to worry about is having to deal with discipline. It's something that the Stricklands, if you've ever seen Back to the Future, have mentioned us before. That everything's always important, including discipline. And during during these weeks for Lent, it's gonna get tough to really feel like you're giving yourself a chance. I know I've dealt with that before in my own personal life, but I want to just preface this I want to just explain that discipline brings on a greater good. If you get into discipline in prayer, you're gonna get better at it. You're gonna get more focused on it. And that's what my friend Joseph Defino Sr. had to deal with as a coach. He had, and as a teacher too, he had to discipline and train people to know that what they were doing may seem hard at first, but it's always going to be for the better good. And by that, he was trying to explain just how important not only discipline can be, but also hope can be in the same vein. Because if we're disciplined, it's going to be tough. It's going to be easier for us when times get tough to really think about what's hopeful. What's the meaning of hope? What's the meaning of all these things we've been talking about? It's really going to show us. It's really going to steel us when times get really tough. And through discipline, through plugging through it, by going through all those things every single day, going through those things every single week, doing it every single month, every single year, we find that we get better about it. We find that we find ourselves more at ease about things. I'll give you an example. Last year I was going. 2 years ago, I went through the Bible in a year from Father Mike Schmitz of Ascension Press. And this past year, the year I was dealing with autistic burnout in 2023, I went through Catechism in a year. And for me, it was a bit of a challenge. I mean, there were lessons that were really hard for me to take and really hard for me to wrap my head around. But all I gotta do is give it time to simmer, and then realize the benefits, the good that's meant from them. It's the same thing with teachers. It's the same thing with students. It's the same thing with everyone. We all need hope. We all need to know that things are gonna get better. One day, maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but someday. Any day. But with that comes a lot of hard lessons that we all have to work around. We all have to know that there are other ways of doing things rather than what you're doing. And sometimes you can come with creative ideas and they work, which is all good. And I think that's to be commended. I do the same thing in my job too. But I also have to figure out a way to kind of discipline myself, to kind of get myself back on track when I get sidetracked. And that can happen. That happens to anyone. But I wanted to say that through the hardships that we're going through when it comes to Lent, when it comes to any time of our lives, whether it be a loved one's passing, learning a new poetic form, learning something new, the practice is going to be worth it, and it's going to get hard. It's going to get challenging, but I'm a firm believer when it comes to hope. Hope can't come without discipline, without feeling, without being taught, and that's something I need to work on myself. Um, I'm actually going to be planning to do the rosary during Lent. As at the time of this recording, it is a couple of days before Ash Wednesday, but I plan to get myself through the rosary and try and make it a little bit easier for myself. Kind of make it get myself through it, but also keep at it. Much like I did with Bible in a year, much like I did with Catechism in a year. As long as I do those things, I know they're going to benefit me in the long run. And it's going to be the same thing for you. So, dear readers and viewers, if you like these videos, check me out here on the Autistic Super Channel on YouTube. You can check me out on X, Twitter, Facebook, all those things. You can check out all my videos on the autisticsuperblog.wordpress.com. Stay safe, stay strong, God bless you all, and as always, shine on.